But really what we want to focus on the rest of the way here is why wide zone. And in this case, I'm going to talk about the benefits of it. And I'm going to break down each of these bullet points. I'll give you a chance to look those over. I'll talk about them real quick, and then I'm going to break down each of those with a little bit of the tape. So the benefits of wide zone scheme to me, and having coached in it, these have been able to crystallize when you watch, like I said, multiple different teams do it with multiple different types of personnel. But the biggest thing is we want these guys to play fast, and that starts with the O-line, right? We want to run off the ball. We want to try to hit their landmarks. That's the tight end. That's even the receivers coming off the ball, trying to gain landmarks, because the thing is, the faster they come off the ball and get these DBs to defend the run, the better that's going to help them when they run their routes and they're trying to stem and make everything look like they're in their blocking rules. But the key to playing fast is that the runner's got to make us right. And I'll show this on tape when I get to it in terms of the back finding the gap that's open. As long as one blocker wins a gap, then the back has to find it. The other thing is, sorry about that. The other thing is you make the defense defend the entire field. So they got to go sideline to sideline, because if they can just play downhill and they're bigger and stronger, they're going to butt you up every time. They're going to corral the offense, and they're going to make you play in limited space. But we want them to play sideline to sideline on every single play, because if you aren't as physically, you don't have the physical advantage on the defense, making them run on angles and try to take on blocks from an angle is going to negate that physical advantage they have. And you'll see that in plenty of these clips. And then lastly, like, I'm going to frame everything through the quarterback position, because it is the most important position in terms of getting these guys to help you win. And by them participating in the wide zone scheme without taking a pounding or without having to process every single play, what we call breather plays, then you're able to still affect the run game and get great sell and get your guys to really believe in what you're trying to do. So let's jump into the tape here. The first section, talking about the benefits of wide zone playing fast, is it takes all 11, right? So this is going to be one in which we believe that the receivers are just as important as the backside tackle when it comes to the run game. Because these guys are the ones that create the explosive plays. Because we're designed, if you're in a run game design, you're trying to find ways to block 7 men. You're trying to find ways to get 4, 5, 6 yards. And then it's on the back to make somebody miss. And then it's on those receivers to block their guys in the secondary to help you get explosive. So you'll see it here, right? I'll show it from the wide to start, or from the wide to start, is that, you see a receiver downfield blocking that gets us in the end zone. You see the one player that we don't have a hat for by scheme, that's the backs. And the back is just running fast on an angle, following his track, finding the gap that's open. And by his lack of hesitation, he's able to beat the post safety without really even making a move. But what's cool about this, watching this from the back, is just watch. Everybody's running. So our first step, everybody should look the same. Everybody's rolling towards their landmark. Our back is the same. He should look the same as the left guard. Everybody's on a 40-yard sprint. And now it's just on the quarterback to drive at his angle, to get the ball to the back so he can have it with as much depth to see what he's looking at. And then he just goes to say, all right, gap's closed. Let me keep climbing. Gap's closed. Defender plays disciplined defense. But what did they do here? Well, we won a gap on the front side, a gap. The back found it. He just happens to get all the way back outside. And then look, my play side wide receiver looks like anybody just trying to gain their landmark and win. And then I'll just, from a sake of looking at how we structure stuff, like you can use formations and motions, some sort of cross sift or whatever, in order to help you gain angles, which is what we happen here, where this linebacker's now got to look at different things. That's something for a later conversation, but that's, the beauty of doing it is you start with what you want to do in wide zone, and then you find out ways to affect the defense in the way that you set it up. So that last clip was a single high clip. Now, looking at how a receiver can affect when teams want to play shell. Well, we want to have this guy in a push crack. And this is what I mean by it takes all 11, is this play doesn't get done without affecting that front side safety. And if we wanted to account for him in the blocking scheme, we'd be out leveraged with our combination. So we need the receiver to be willing to push crack. Beautiful. Gets on his landmark. It's awesome. All right. Then looking at it from the wide, well, the whole reason that we want the receiver to handle this is so that we can cut the defense right here, get vertical off this combination, and create a huge gap in the defense. Now it's on the back to go find it. So whether you want to manipulate the edge with a fullback and a tight end kick out, there's lots of different ways to manipulate the edge. But the back's got to be the one that helps us find it. And then the beauty is when we play fast, get vertical, any of this linebacker run through where these guys are expecting to get through here because the edge is set, we can take advantage of them playing underneath blocks. And the back's just the one that helps find it. Runner makes us right. The runner makes us right. And then who's left? You're the backs. Post safety, you got him. Nice little ham sandwich in the face there.